Hi everyone, I'm Keith Mathis with the Mathis Group. We are a premier ATP with the Project Management Institute. Welcome today to the 7 Minutes to PMP Mastery. This has been all updated to the 2026 exam. Today our video on the PMP exam is going to focus on quality management concepts. Let's give you an overview of the big quality ideas. First off, let's talk about quality planning. It defines the standards, the metrics, acceptance criteria, and processes the team will use. What quality standards must we meet? Typically, it's going to focus on prevention when they're talking about quality planning. Second, let's talk about quality assurance or QA. It focuses on whether the project is following the right processes to produce the quality. So are we following the right processes? So it's going to focus on process improvement. And third is going to be quality control, QC. It focuses on inspecting, measuring, and validating the actual deliverables or work results. Do the deliverables meet the requirements? You're looking at inspection and measurement is going to be some of the key words that you might see on your test. So understanding that quality planning focuses on prevention, quality assurance focuses on process improvement, and quality control focuses on inspection and measurement will help you be able to pick out what is the better answer, because remember, you're choosing the best answer, not the right answer on the test. Quality assurance concepts. So quality assurance is process oriented. It asks, are we using the right methods? So examples of QA activities that could be in your test question, it could be process audits, quality audits, retrospectives focused on process improvement, reviewing whether standards are being followed, evaluating whether the quality management plan is effective, improving the way the work is performed. All of those would be some cues. Under quality control concepts, quality control is product oriented. So it asks, does the output meet the requirements? So some examples of QC activities that might be in your test question would be inspection, testing, sampling, control charts, check sheets, defect measurements, and verification against acceptance criteria. Now, some of these charts or some of these charts and some of these graphics that we're talking about in this video, I did another video about those graphics, and I showed you a group of the graphics that could show up on your test. So look for that video if you don't know what many of these graphics are. So an exam tip as you're doing this on quality, if the question is about improving the process, think about quality assurance, QA. If the question is about measuring or inspecting deliverables, think about quality control. So if the question's about improving the process, think quality assurance. If the question's about measuring or inspecting deliverables, think about quality control. Let's compare predictive and agile projects as we look at quality. So in predictive, you've got quality control often happens at formal checkpoints, phase gates, inspections, and deliverable reviews. Predictive exam clue could be the scenario mentions a quality management plan, a formal audit, inspections, compliance requirements, phase gates, or baselines. All of those let you know they're talking about a predictive project. In Agile, you're looking at quality is not postponed until the end. Each increment should potentially have something releasable and meet agreed standards. So an Agile exam clue would be the scenario mentions iterations, product increments, definition of done, backlog items, retrospectives, product owner feedback, acceptance criteria. All of those are key words that let you know that they're talking about Agile and not predictive. So let's talk about the cost of quality that could come up on the test. COQ is your acronym for this. So the first would be prevention costs, cost to avoid the defect. Some of the examples that they might give in the test question could be training, planning, and process improvement. That's prevention. Appraisal costs, cost to evaluate the quality. You're looking at testing, inspections, audits. Internal failure costs. Defects found before the customer it's delivered to the customer. So you're looking at rework, scrap. And then external failure costs are the ones that we hate like crazy because these are defects that are found after the customer gets the product, it's delivered to the customer. So you're looking at warranty claims, recalls, customer dissatisfaction. So an exam rule, PMI generally prefers prevention over inspection and inspection over customer discovered failure. So if you can look at everything through those eyes, it's going to help you choose the better of the two answers. So let's look at our PMP exam style question. So a project manager is leading a hybrid project to implement a regulated clinical scheduling system. Data conversion and regulatory validation are being managed predictively while the application is being developed through 3-week iterations. The approved quality management plan requires automated testing, peer review, traceability to regulatory requirements, and compliance with the team's definition of done. During the last 3 iterations, quality control reports have shown an increasing number of defects during system testing. All defects were discovered and corrected before deployment, and the completed increment passed their acceptance test. The project manager reviews a sample of the defects and discovers that most originated in backlog items for which peer review was skipped so that the team could meet its iteration commitments. The sponsor recommends adding a second inspection gate before every release. What should the project manager do first? Very common phrase that they will give you. So A, accept the sponsor's recommendation, add another inspection gate because appraisal costs are preferable to external failure costs. B, facilitate a review of the team's adherence to the quality management plan and definition of done, determine why peer reviews were skipped, and implement preventative process improvements. C, ask the product owner to place all identified defects ahead of every remaining feature in the product backlog and reject the completed increments. D, submit a change request to increase the quality budget and extend the release schedule before conducting further analysis. So if you got this PMP question, which answer would you choose? Pick one right now. Okay, let's talk about it. The correct answer for this question is going to be B. The project manager should facilitate a review of process adherence, identify the cause of the skipped peer reviews, and implement preventative process improvements. Quality control has already done its job. Testing and defect measurement revealed that the deliverables contain defects. The next step is not simply to perform more inspections. The evidence indicates a process problem. The team is not consistently following the peer review requirement contained in the quality management plan and definition of done. Reviewing whether the prescribed quality processes are being followed is a quality assurance activity. Determining why the process was bypassed and improving its supports continuous improvement and defect prevention is what the problem is here. So let's look at the other answers. So answer A, accept the sponsor's recommendation, add another inspection gate because appraisal costs are preferred to external failure costs, is not necessarily a wrong answer, but it's not the best answer. Additional inspections could prevent defective work from reaching the customer. Appraisal costs are generally preferable to external failure costs, but it doesn't really speak the most direct to the problem. C, ask the product owner to place all identified defects ahead of every remaining feature in the product backlog and reject the completed increments. Agile teams normally place defects in the backlog, and the product owner participates in prioritization. D, submit a change request to increase the quality budget and extend the release schedule before conducting further analysis. Additional quality activities may eventually require more time or funding, and baseline changes may require formal change control. So if you have other people that are friends and people in your company that are trying to pass the PMP and you think this has been beneficial, please pass these videos along from our YouTube channel or from our website. We'd love to be able to help some other people pass the 2026 PMP with all those 2026 changes. So let me close this by saying thank you so much for watching the video. If I can help you in any way, here's my contact information. I do virtual PMP boot camps every other month. And so people tap in from all over the world. And so we run a phenomenal first-time passing rate. And I have been training PMPs since 2006 is when I started. So I'd love to be able to work with you, work with your people. We also do customized PMP boot camps on site as well as virtual for just your your company. So if I can help you in that area, I'd love to. So thank you so much for watching the video. Have a wonderful day. Bye now.